Good evening, everyone. Today I'm going to present a presentation on the topic causative agents of nosocomial infection. So first of all, they are infections which are acquired during hospital care and they are not present or incubating at.
Maria, please stop. I need record it. In the
Now recording is on.
Yes.
It's on.
You can continue.
Teacher.
I'm sorry.
Infections occurring more than 48 hours after admission, they are usually considered nosocomial.
Yes.
Sources and reservoirs of hospital acquired infections. The sources are patients, hospital staff, and the environment. Patients suffering from infectious diseases, they are potential sources of infection. These cases may be certain viral infections like measles, German measles, influenza, viral hepatitis. Where do the microbes come from? So the microbes come from patient's own flora, cross-infection from medical personnel, cross-infection from patient to patient, hospital environment, inanimate objects like air, water, dust, IV fluids and catheters, wash bowls, bed pans, endoscopes, ventilators and respiratory equipments. Sources of infection. So the sources of infection can be endogenous and exogenous. Endogenous includes the patient's own flora, which may invade patient's tissues during some surgical operations or instrumental manipulations, normal commensals of the skin, respiratory, GI, or UG tract. Exogenous sources includes from other patients, staff members, environment in the hospital. Environmental sources include inanimate objects, air, water, food. Cross-infection from other patients, hospital staff suffering from infections or asymptomatic carriers. Sources of infection. So in most of the cases of bacterial nosocomial pneumonia, they are caused by aspiration of endogenous or hospital-acquired oropharyngeal flora. The viral pneumonias, they are particularly important in pediatric and immunocompromised patients. Then the causative agents. So the early onset nosocomial pneumonia, it manifests within first 4 days of hospitalization. Most commonly, they are caused by community-acquired pathogens such as Streptococcus pneumoniae, Haemophilus species. Late onset pneumonias, they are caused by Staphylococcus aureus, Pseudomonas aeruginosa, Enterobacter species, Klebsiella pneumoniae, Acinetobacter. Infections is polymicrobial in about 20 to 40% of cases. The causative agents of nosocomial infections, they can be Escherichia coli, nosocomial gram-negative bacilli, Staphylococci, Enterococci, Pseudomonas, Candida. E. coli is the most common organism causing nosocomial UTIs as a whole. Candida, which is a fungi, it is the most common pathogen in nosocomial UTIs among patients on ICUs. Microorganisms. So any pathogen on occasion, they can cause nosocomial infections. Those that are able to survive in hospital environment and they develop resistance to antibodies and disinfectants, they are the major cause. Commensal bacteria, they are found in the normal flora of healthy people, which play significant protective role by preventing colonization by pathogenic microorganisms. Some commensal bacteria may cause infections if the host is compromised, like Staphylococcus epidermidis, which is the cause of IV infections, and E. coli, which is the cause of urinary infections. Pathogenic bacteria, they have greater virulence and they cause infections sporadic or epidemic regardless of the host status. Now the bacteria which leads to nosocomial infection, they include gram-positive bacteria in which we have Staphylococcus aureus. They colonize the skin, nose and throat of patients and hospital staff. They cause a wide variety of lung, bone, heart and bloodstream infections, and they are frequently resistant to antibiotics. In hospitals, commonly 40 to 50% of Staph aureus isolates, they are MRSA, means methicillin resistant. Then Staph epidermidis and group D streptococci, which causes nosocomial infections. They are Streptococcus hemolyticus and Streptococcus pyogenes. Clostridium tetani spores, they survive in dust for a very long time. Then these are the Staphylococcus aureus on basic cultivation media. Then gram-negative bacteria. So in recent decades, enteric gram-negative bacilli, they are most important group of hospital pathogens. They include E. coli, Proteus, Klebsiella, Enterobacter, Serratia. They may colonize sites where the host defenses are compromised. They may also be highly antibiotic resistant. Pseudomonas species, they are often isolated in water and damp areas. They may colonize the digestive tract of hospital patients. Ability to survive and multiply at low temperature, and they are resistant toward antibiotics and disinfectants. So these are the microorganisms which leads to nosocomial infections, which include Acinetobacter, Enterobacter, E. coli, Pseudomonas aeruginosa, Staph aureus, Coagulase negative Staph aureus, gram positive bacilli, and others. Nosocomial viral infections. So apart from bacteria, viruses can also cause nosocomial infections, and they are common in all group of hospitalized patients, but they are especially important in infants and young children. Healthcare workers, they are important in the nosocomial spread of many viruses. So the viruses which leads to nosocomial virus infections, they can be respiratory syncytial virus, varicella zoster virus, influenza virus, adenovirus, parainfluenza, and rubeola virus. The causative agents and their percentage, like gram-negative organisms like E. coli, Klebsiella, pneumonia, Salmonella, Pseudomonas aeruginosa, and others. So among them, E. coli is the highest number. Then in gram-positive Staph aureus, so it's the main organism which leads to nosocomial infection. Then fungi which can cause nosocomial infections, they are Candida albicans and Candida tropicalis. Then there are some co-organisms, means two microorganisms together can lead to, like Enterococcus faecium plus Coagulase negative Staph and Enterococcus faecium plus E. coli. The routes of acquisition of nosocomial infections. So the infection from index patient's own microbiota, the direct patient transmission, indirect patient to patient transmission, transmission from healthcare workers, and transmission from environment. Reservoirs and transmission. So the reservoirs can be microflora of patient, in which the bacteria belonging to endogenous flora of patients, they can cause infections. And if they are transferred to tissue wound or surgical site, the gram-negative bacteria in the GIT, it causes SSI after abdominal surgery, which is sepsis, surgical site infection. Patient and staff, transmission of pathogens during the treatment through direct contacts with the patient's hand, saliva, or other body fluids, and by the staff through direct contact or other environmental sources like water, food, and other body fluids. Then the environment, it can also be serves as a transmission factor, in which the pathogens living in the healthcare environment, they can be a source of transmission. Transmission to other patient makes one more reservoir for uninfected patient. इरशाद यहाँ से कंटिन्यू कर ले, 4-5 ही बची.
Okay. So factors influencing the development of HI, the microbial agents, and the patient's susceptibility, and also environmental factors, and there is also bacterial resistance. Again. So first of all, microbial agents such as characteristics of microorganism. So first of all, resistance to antimicrobial agents and intrinsic virulence and amount of infective materials, and also source of microorganism from another infected person in the hospital into the patient's own flora. An infinite of object or substance recently contaminated from the another human source. Also, most infected acquired in hospital today are caused by the microorganism which are common in the general population, and they cause the mildew disease, than among hospital patients, such as uroscones or enterococci, enterobacterial cysts. And second number, the patient susceptibility. Important patient factor influencing acquisition of infection include age, infancy and old age, and immune status like AIDS, underlying disease meningitis, leukemia, diabetes mellitus, or renal failure, and diagnostic and therapeutic interventions such as are biopsies, endoscopic examinations, catheterization, intubation, or we can call ventilation, suction, and surgical procedures. Immunosuppressive drugs or irradiation, malnutritions. Next one. And the third number is environmental factors. First of all, crowded condition within the hospital or frequent transfers of patient from one unit to another, and concentration of patient we can call suspicious to infection in one area to such as for example newborn infants, burn patient, or intensive cares. Number 4, bacterial resistance. Widespread use of antimicrobials for therapy or prophylaxis, including topical, and also emergence of new resistant strains, and can increase a prevalence of multi-drug resistant organisms like Klebsiella and Pseudomonas and Urogenosa and Acetobacteria. Thank you, ma'am.
Enter. Finish.
One more presentation by company Nagar.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then you can stop your record.
Ma'am.
I will stop. Who record? Yeah.